Okay, this video is for the worksheet that's entitled Center and Spread of Data. Um, we just got done doing center and spread when you were given a set of numbers. So number 1 and 2 on the worksheet looks just like the worksheet we just got done with on finding mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, this one is going to go into a little bit more detail in that it's going to give you some other scenarios, okay, where the data has been displayed and they want you to perform the same and a little bit more in terms of calculations. Now, first of all, do not, at directions say find the standard deviation, do not worry about finding the standard deviation. You do not need to do that part. But everything else ought to be similar to what you already done. Okay, so I'm going to go through 2 or 3 exercises just to kind of show you how to collect the data. And then from there, the calculations are similar to what we've been doing. So number 4, you see the problem where you're given sales tax regarding a table. And let me find the original questions here. So question number 4 has sales tax from all of these different states. Okay. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take those numbers and off the table and I'm going to write them out in a line where I can calculate and order them, etc. So, these are in order for us, so that's good. Okay, so I can kind of play with them a little bit as they are. So the first thing I notice is I want to count these up. Okay, so So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So n equals 17. Okay. Now, I know one of the things I'm being asked to do is find the mode. And that we know the mode is the one that repeats the most. So as I look through that list of numbers, starting at Colorado and going through, I noticed that there are 4 6s and 3 7s. I don't see anything repeated even close to that. So I would say my mode is 6. It repeats the most in those examples. Okay. Second one I'm going to do is I'm going to find the median. And the median is the number that's in the middle. And given that there are 17 pieces of information given, I know that there is one, because it's odd, there is one middle piece. So I'm going to count in 8. The 9th number is going to be my median. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it looks like Idaho and 6 is the 9th item. So it is the one in the middle. So my median is also a 6. Okay. To find the mean, I'm going to add up all the numbers. So with my calculator, I've got 2.9 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4.5 plus 5. then 6.15, 6.25, 6.5, and then 777. Okay, so I get 94.925. That's the sum divided by 17. And when I do that, I get 5.5 I get 5.5838. I'm going to call that 5.6. Okay. Now, from here, and then I guess the next thing we can do based on the last worksheet is, no, they didn't ask you for range. So let's take those values. So I got those three. My next thing to do is find the lower quartile. Okay. Now, the lower quartile is how you find the median of the bottom half. Okay. So the bottom half of numbers here goes from 2.9 to 6. And so because there are 8 numbers in the lower half, I need to take the fourth and fifth numbers and average them. So these are my middle values of the lower quartile. So if I take 4.5 plus 5 divided by 2, my lower quartile is 4.75. Okay. Now, we have an upper half of also 8 values. So here's my fourth, here's my fifth. So what I want to do here is take those two values and average them. Find the middle point between 6.25 and 6.5. When I take those and divide by 2, I get an upper quartile of 6.375. Okay? And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to find the interquartile range. Okay? Interquartile range is abbreviated IQR. The lower quartile is Q1. The upper quartile is Q3. The range is when I take Q3 minus Q1. So in this case, that would be 6.375 minus 4.75. So I get 1.625 as my interquartile range. So you got 6 answers. Okay? Mode, median, mean, lower quartile, upper quartile, interquartile range. Okay? Now, like I said, they were nice to you on number 4, and they are on number 3 as well because all of the numbers are already in order. Okay? 1 and 2 is the same way. Everything is in order. Okay? Now, you're going to have some on the other side, not so much. So we're going to have to be able to take those, list them out, make sure they're in order, but we're still performing the same calculations. Okay? So let me show you how to take some of these other problems and get your data.
Can you make it better? Crap. They're in here, right? Which ones are they? Hey, girls. I said, which pills are they? The allergy ones?
No, they should be on the bottom of that.
The white?
Or if you want, there's a little one. Those down there are the other ones.
These are the big ones?
Pair of those.
Definitely. Shit, should I just keep grinding them and go to the front yard, or should I take a little break? It's like, how much longer for lunch?
Oh, it'll be.
That water's not bad. Left of the faucet. It still tastes fine. Yeah, I thought the filter went bad.
Yeah, I probably should change it to some. Okay, so let's move on to question number 7. Again, I think the hardest part of this is being able to pull the data from the graph that you're given. So on number 7, it's a bar graph. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and just list those goals, those numbers across the top. That'll be my data. So this is for games 1 through 15. And I see I've got a 7, a 2, 3, 3, 5, 3, 6, 5, 3, 7, 7, 7, and then 5, 6, 7. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 numbers. So there are all the numbers. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, you don't have to do it in this order, but I'm going to go ahead and put them in order. So there's a 2, and just kind of cross them out as I go here. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. Okay, so I still have my same 15 numbers. This time they've been arranged from order or least to greatest. Now again, just start answering questions. So my mode is, looks like I got 5 sevens. That appears to be the most. Okay, because there are 15 numbers, okay, an odd number, then I know that the median will be between, be after the 7th term. Okay, so when I count in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, here is my 8th number. That means I have 7 on the left and 7 on the right. And so my median is 5. My mean, now it's just going to take me a little bit of calculator work here. So I'm going to go ahead and add those up. And I'll double check it here in just a minute here. I got 73 over 15. For I've got a median of 4.9. They're telling me it should have gotten 5. So I'm going to check my numbers again real quick. Yeah. Yeah, they're showing, if I added them up again, I got 76 over 15. which is 5.07. So you could call that 5.1 or just 5, okay, depending on how you round those. Okay, so oh, and I'm going to go back and change one more thing, because for this value right here in the chart, which is this one here, the second one is game 2. I read that as a 2. It's actually supposed to be a 1. So I'm glad I fixed that. So that means 75 over 15, which is exactly 5.0. And that's perfect. Okay. Now, here's the other thing with the lower quartiles and upper quartiles. What's nice about this number 15 is that the quartiles also break up into odds. So the middle number on the lower quartile, right in the middle of the 7, is going to be the 4th term. So I have a 4, or excuse me, a 3 for my lower quartile. There's Q1. Okay, Q3 on the upper half of those 7 is going to be a 7. And so the interquartile range of Q3 minus Q1 is 7 minus 3, or 4. Okay, so be careful. I mean, if numbers don't appear to look, go back and make sure you go back and check your original data. Okay, so I'm kind of just flying by the seat of my pants here. So some of these, if I have to go back and correct myself, so be it. But those should be the correct values for number 7. Okay, those are the values for number 7. Okay, now again, notice I went in and I looked at the values that were on the y-axis of the graph. Okay, same is going to be true, okay, for 9 and 10. Okay, let me help you come up with some numbers here, but I think the math is something that you can do. Okay, so for example, let me show you number 8, and then we'll look at number 10 as well. And then I think from there, I think that these should be able to do. Now, number 8 is a stem and leaf. Okay, and what's important to notice about a stem and leaf is that the numbers are there, but they've been split up according to digits. Okay, so, whoops, wrong page, sorry. Okay. So they tell you in the key down at the bottom how these numbers were broken up. Okay, but here's the stem, here's the leaf. What we want to do is the first number is actually the thousands place. So a 1 on the left and an 8 on the right is actually 1,800. Okay, so when I do that with the numbers above, okay, I'm going to plug a 0 in for the first 6 numbers. That's the thousandths digit. Okay, so the 01 is actually 100. Okay, 02 is 200, 300, 300, and one more time, 800, 900, and there's the first set of numbers. So the next row, they do the 1 and the 8, so that's 1,800. And then the next row, 2,200, 2,400, 2,900, 2,900 again. So 3,200. Now, the nice thing about a stem and leaf is these are arranged. I'm just running out of room, so I just kind of jump off to the next line. But we should be able to just work with them in this order as well. So 3,200, 3,300, 3,800, and then 4,800. So this thing has 16. It has 16 leaves, so there should be 16 numbers up here, and there are. So those are the numbers that you want to use for question number 8. Find the mean, median, mode, upper and lower quartiles, interquartile range. Okay? Now, same thing about the numbers, the graphs on the bottom. Okay? Read the numbers off where there are on this y-axis. Okay? So the numbers on the bottom are labels. They're not numbers. So I don't need that data. So on number 10, when I start reading, this is going to go 2, 4, 6, 2, 5, 2, 6, 8, 10, 3. Anywhere in between lines, I'm going to assume it's just the odd one. 12, 12, 17, 12, and then 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's 15 dots, so there should be 15 numbers than there are. And again, first step, take the numbers, put them in order so that we can start doing our calculations. So a 2, a 2, and a 2. Okay, looks like there are 3 of those, and that's it. A 3, only one of those. A 4, a 5, 2 6s, and then it goes 8, 10, 12, 12, 12, 13, 17. So again, let's count them up. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 numbers, so everything is there. You should be able to find everything you need from that list and then answer the questions accordingly. Again, don't attempt to find the standard deviation. Okay, the other 6 calculations, as we did in the examples, is fine. Okay, that should help you with that one.